So this video is about how I actually deliver the results to my clients. I will show you the actual campaigns we use, the actual audience, the actual creatives, how I actually set up my ads, and how I actually help my clients make money. So I'm in the architectural, interior design, and home improvement industry. So it's kind of like a broad niche. So primarily we work with architects, designers, and contractors. Usually it's like GCs, remodelers, and stuff like that. And so I think I'll show you like two campaigns for an architect and for the contractor. I mean, obviously those will be like the most successful ones, of course. I know a lot of you guys struggle because you always keep thinking about how you're going to deliver the service to your client, but the problem is you don't even have any clients. And so you're kind of stuck in this, like analysis paralysis and shit. And I hope this video will give you a little bit of clarity on how to actually, back up your promise that you make to your clients. And guys, keep in mind, like I had no clue how to actually run successful ad campaigns for my clients before I closed, like I think 5 clients. So I just focused on putting my, foot in front of another. And actually starting getting some momentum, getting some cash so I can reinvest into more knowledge, some coaching programs, etc. So that now I actually know how to do this stuff, and now I'm getting my clients' results consistently. So I kind of talk too much, so let me just show you the actual campaign, I guess.
All right, so I'll show you 2 campaigns. This one is for the architect, this one is for Remodeler. And by the way, this one is completely fucking crushed it. So the guy made like 150K, the cost per lead was insane. Quality was pretty good as well. I think we'll start with this one, right? So let's go into the campaign settings. What you will notice, by the way, in this campaign, and basically in every single campaign that I have, like the setup is incredibly simple. So usually we use 1 or 2 ad sets, and then we use, like 3 or 4 ads per ad set, and then we just optimize it from there. Like we don't do some crazy methods such as like an 8 ad set method, 16 ad set method, 32 ad set method, whatever you can see. I'm not saying it doesn't work though, but this is just what we use, and we're getting some results because we try to keep things as simple as possible. So let's start from the top. Nothing crazy here. We pretty much didn't change anything. We don't run APO. We don't have any categories here. And then in this campaign, we had only 1 ad set. I'll show you what's the point. But by the way, this one was for the instant forms. Like we do landing pages right now as well. But this one, we just decided to go with forms, and the results were too good, so we didn't even change anything with that, to be frank. So what we can see here as well, no dynamic creative, doesn't really matter. The budget wasn't 20. It was 20 just because we decided to decrease it later because he was getting kind of overwhelmed with the amount of leads. But the budget was about $40 per day, I think. Now, what else? Let's go to the audience, right? So it's pretty simple. Like this one was just for the United States. The previous one was just, I believe, West Coast. Because, this guy can afford to work nationwide. And by the way, a side note, if your client can work statewide or nationwide, by all means do that, because your results will just get better because the audience will be way bigger. So like it's just easier for you to do that. Now, when it comes to this campaign, as you can tell, it's pretty simple. But what we have here is a setup, and this is kind of the key, like golden nugget for you, is we run it just to the top household incomes, so the top 5% of zip codes. And they also need to match interests like Realtor.com, Trulia, or Zillow. It's made for a simple reason because I'm in the home improvement niche. So about 70% of all remodels happen to a proximity of a real estate transaction. I know it sounds boring, but whatever. And so this is why we do that, because if people have been looking to buy or sell property recently, it just increases the chances of them being in the target market. Simple as that. So this one audience, Advantage Plus placements. I don't really like to split it into the feeds, stories, reels, etc. We just run it to Advantage Plus. And then when it comes to the ads, by the way, this copy is the best one that we have right now. So I kind of just take it, implement it for every client, and just slightly tweak it, really. So you can see right there. Like this one was, it's just crushing it for pretty much all the campaigns we have. If you motherfuckers will steal it, whatever, you can do that. I don't really care, because I know I'm the best. I think I'll show you the best performing ad. So this is the carousel. As you could tell, we don't run any crazy offers, any guarantees, any discounts, nothing like that. But this project is actually like a really good one. So as you could tell, it looks incredibly good, I think. And so this is why clients like it. 22 likes, but on the original one, it was like 98, I think, or something like that. People basically treated it as like an organic post from a friend, which is kind of the goal with what we are trying to achieve, because like we work with high-end niche. It's like architects, interior designers, they want to work on big projects, right? So this is that. When it comes to the form, also simple. You can see for yourself, are you a homeowner? What is the time frame? Please tell us more about your project. This is a very, very cool thing, because a lot of people were actually typing like 3 or 4 paragraphs of text explaining the project. And so if you have this information from a client standpoint, you now know, okay, I'll spend more time following up with this person because like they are clearly qualified. And the same with the phone number. So a lot of people would do it like this, like as a pre-filled question, but we do it as a manual question. So they have to manually type in the phone number, because like these questions are pre-filled once again, and they usually use the phone that you used when you registered on Facebook, and it could have been 10 years ago. So a lot of those phone numbers will not be valid, but if you do it like that, they have to manually type it in, so the quality will be higher and more people will actually pick up the phone. Very simple. Then it's obviously email, full name, zip code. Then it's the privacy policy. And then we have this thing, wait, your registration is not complete yet, book your project clarity call, blah, blah, blah. And it transfers them to the calendar. It's very simple, bro. And let's go to the second campaign. So those are the results. This guy haven't made like 150K yet, but I'm sure he will, because, you know, it's just popping. This is a remodeler, by the way. And so with him, we actually run the video creatives. When it comes to the campaign setup, it's exactly the same. Nothing like there's not so many variables you could even change. But when it comes to the audience, then we actually use the Advantage Plus audience in this case. He's in UK, by the way, so we can't really target it by the zip codes. We just decided to go broad, and then we slightly changed the creatives, because in this case, like as you could tell, like it's everything else is the same, but the audience is Advantage Plus, just a London location. But with this guy, we decided to run reels and video ads, and man, it just completely destroyed it. So I think I will show you like a reel, shall I? All right, let's take a look.
We're looking for 5 homeowners in London interested in building or renovating their dream house with a professional design and build firm. At 1PT Services, we offer a free estimate and up to 20% off your project to help you discover your vision, guide you through the process, and take all the stress out of it. Ready to make your dream home a reality? Tap the button below and let's have a chat.
So as you can see, it's very simple. I actually made it myself in CapCut. So it took me like an hour, I think, but this one just completely crushes it. I think at one point we were getting like $6 per lead and like if you know, in the remodeling space, it's like insanely low. We usually aim for 35 to 45, I think. And these are the questions. What can we help you with? What time frame, project budget, and best phone number to call you. So as you can tell, they are pretty qualified. And then the rest is the same. They just have to book a quote. So I think let me just show you the actual setup, like what happens once they come through. So the Go High Level setup you are about to see is pretty much exactly the same for every single client I use. So what I did back then in last fall, I basically just paid a guy to build this out for me. So he built this GHL system, and he also built like a custom AI bot for me. And from there, really is just copy and paste. So I think, let me show you how it actually looks like. What happens, obviously, through Trigger, they need to submit a Facebook ad form. It assigns them to the client, creates an opportunity in the pipeline. And then from there, if they book an appointment, then nothing happens, because we have a separate workflow for the appointment signing, which I'll show you in a second. But if they don't book an appointment, then it sends the variables they submitted to the voice flow, which is the custom bot. We'll talk about that. And then it sends the first email and the first SMS. So the first SMS is, hey, is this name? So the goal is just for them to respond. And with the email, it's slightly different, right? So what's next is it waits for a minute, and then it sends a notification to the client, to an email to the client, and also email to myself, and like a text message to myself as well. Now it waits for the prospect to reply. So if they reply, then basically from there, the AI bot takes over. So we don't have anything built out here, because once they respond, then the bot will text them back and forth, right? But if they don't respond, sends them the second message, something like that. You could see for yourself. And then it basically keeps sending them text messages and emails for like 10 days right there. So this is that. But obviously, if they respond, then we have a whole AI bot here that what it will do, just so you know, it will send them like 1 or 2 more questions just to kind of qualify them a bit. And then it will take the information they submitted, and then it will send them the link to schedule an appointment from the text. I think on the screen right now, I'll just insert like an actual, like an actual conversation with the bot so you can see how it actually looks like in action. I wouldn't be going over this whole thing because it's like madness. I paid like $1,000 for it. Actually like 1.5K, I think. So this is that. And from there, if they book an appointment, then basically we have this flow that sends them confirmation and reminders. So it removes them from the first workflow, and then depends on if the bot was activated or not, it will have slightly different sequence. And then it will just be sending them like, confirmations before the call, SMS, notifications to me and to the client, etc. So it's fairly simple. And then from there, the client will just call them, close the deal, pay me money, and I guess that's it, really. So I think I show you really the whole system. Like, if you want, you can just take it as it is and just implement it for, your agency, whatever. I don't care, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. So I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching that. Check description. I'll leave something here. And thank you for your time. See you in the next one.